Hello, fellow humans. Chris here again. About a week or so ago, Bo of the Fifth Column did a video on why the gun control debate is about to change, or the conversation around gun control. And he pointed to the XM5, comparing it to the AR-15. So the XM5 is going to be the new rifle of choice for Army combat. And currently it's the AR-15, and that's why there is such an obsession with the AR-15. The AR-15 in of itself is not a particularly phenomenal weapon. It just so happens to be the weapon of choice in a lot of mass shootings. So he feels that the XM5, which is a much higher powered weapon, is going to change that conversation in the inevitable event that it gets used in a mass shooting because of what people will see, because of how high powered it is. That a mass shooting is going to be at another level, and that it's going to change the debate, change the conversation, pull the wool off of people's eyes, take away some of the justifications that the gun crowd can use when something like this happens. I really like Bo the Fifth Column. I watch all his videos. As I said before, he's a big part of the reason why I even have a channel. I don't always agree with his takes on everything. One of the things that I think that he does sometimes is he gives the opposition too much credit. And I'm talking about intellectually. He will present these cases, these logical points that make a whole lot of sense and are really hard to dispute if you're being intellectually honest. But a lot of those takes hinge on the assumption that the opposition is a thinking group. And while a lot of them are, a lot of them aren't. And so you can't really apply logic to some of the rationale for some of the things that get said or done. Along those same lines, I think that it makes sense from a logical perspective that a higher powered weapon that causes more destruction, more devastation, gets caught on tape, kills a whole bunch more people, that could and should change the conversation a little bit. I don't think it will. Almost 10 years ago, I was doing a classroom observation at one of my old schools from when I was a child, and I was sitting in on a teacher's class who was one of my old teachers, and I remember watching the class. I remember walking around the school. Everything was a lot smaller than I ever remembered it being, and first time I'd been there in almost 20 years, and just seeing everything with a new set of eyes. And then I got in my car on this morning in December and put on NPR, and I heard about what happened at Sandy Hook. And when I heard what happened, it wasn't the first thing I thought of, but eventually I came to a thought that, I've seen a lot of horrific stuff in my life. I've seen some really, really bad stuff. I thought that if there was ever anything that could possibly change things in this country in any kind of meaningful way, murdered elementary school children, that's got to be it. That didn't happen. And 10 years later, 14 kids. I really hope that I'm wrong. And I think Bo, the fifth column, has an amazing vision for a much better future. I don't have a lot of faith in humanity that's gonna happen. If murdered school children can't do it, I don't know what will. You get numb when you see certain things, and it's very easy to turn your head and just not go there. Vietnam was the first time that we really got to witness the horrors of war broadcast like that. Walter Cronkite, the unwinnable war, right? Didn't stop us from going into war. It still happens a lot. I think that it's very very noble to want for better, but I also think it's unrealistic to think that a horrific outcome in and of itself is going to change anything, even the conversation. Our culture adjusts to these things. They happen over and over and over, and they keep happening, and we keep doing nothing. I just don't think, I think it's a little arbitrary to think that an upgrade is going to change anything. But anyway, I hope I'm wrong. Have a great rest of your day. Don't be afraid to question the consensus.